think we can start now. Meeting come to order, 7 o'clock, March 12th,
How about April?
whatever. Oh, I was reading the minutes. March 9th, April 9th, you know what I mean. That's how in touch I am.
It's Tuesday.
Certainly is. How are you?
How you doing?
So if anybody's here for Josh Gray Road, that's been continued indefinitely. Re-notified? What do you think?
What?
Make them re-notify?
Yes. They'll have to
So-
re-notify both, yeah.
So if anybody's here for Josh Gray Road, you'll be re-notified of the next hearing for that. They're not on the agenda, but they were the last time. So I got one change to the minutes. Under the highway department, so they will be invited to our next meeting to discuss. Strike that, because they were never invited, because they never filed with us.
Say it again?
They were never invited because they didn't file anything with us yet.
Oh. I thought we made more of an order.
We did, but that's April 15th.
Oh, yeah, oh, that's right, that is, we did have an off date. Where the hell did I write that down? Oh, yeah, I put down here. 4/16, because 14 plus 16 actually is 30, but 37 and 30 was April 16th. Okay. Cross out, they will be invoked. All right. Such a big crashes. Okay.
Everybody good with the minutes?
On Josh Gray, at the beginning of the second page, it doesn't read well. Which they need to driveway to service the culverts. Doesn't make sense. And then they are willing to take responsibility to clean the culvert and to maintain and service within the deed. So that, these two sentences have
That's what I said.
funky.
There is an easement between the houses, which they will need the driveway to service the culvert. That does make sense for the
What?
situation, but I want to take responsibility to clean the culvert to maintain service within the deed.
Plus, they don't need to driveway to service, just as,
They need to be able to drive to
Yeah.
service it, that's all.
or they need a driveway to service.
Oh.
But something,
No,
it just
no,
doesn't read
They don't
right.
need a driveway, they will need to use the driveway for the.
To use the driveway, there you go, that would work.
Mm-hmm.
That would make sense.
So just add use in there. They will need to use driveway to service the culvert.
They are willing to take responsibility and to maintain and service within the deed, and have service within the deed.
Sounds good.
And the cleaning of the drain, how is that controlled? The wording in the deed will need to approve by the town as well as town council. Be approved?
Yep. Will need to be approved.
Then on Winter Circle, property owner provided update that they on plan and will be back in May.
Just cross out that day.
What, that they?
Yeah.
Update. So then we go on plan and we'll be back?
Yeah, they provided an update on the plan.
Provided an update.
Just cross out the
Yeah, no.
You guys
Never
English
done
teachers?
Hmm?
Are you guys English teachers?
No, it's called syntax. And when you read it and you go, what?
And we were there.
Yes. Yeah,
Yeah, but that was a month ago.
this is true.
Yeah, but still,
All right, are you done with your adjustments?
I am.
I'm sure the secretary would be more than happy to fix it.
She's ignoring us and I don't blame her.
Just I am ignoring you, let's move on.
Yep.
Well, that's
Yep,
because you're
let's
making
move
fun
on.
of her.
No, I'm not. Do we ever post this stuff on the website? I mean, our meeting, minutes are supposed to go to
They're up
somebody
there.
as well.
Right.
Huh? To the clerk, yeah.
They're up
And where
there.
does it go after that? Because when I look on it,
I know.
yeah, because when I
You
look
see
on the thing, there's
agendas,
two
but you don't
places, you can see agenda and minutes, but I never bothered to look at the minutes, I guess, you know.
So how are we on the minutes?
Everything's hunky-dory. I make a motion to approve as corrected.
Corrections.
With the corrections, please. Second? All in favor? Hopefully somebody seconded.
Lorraine did. 'Cause she amended my thing. So that's good.
15 Corn Mill Way. They here? I didn't think they were coming, but we just do that last?
What?
You wanna just do that last, you wanna do it now?
Ooh.
COC for Corn Mill, it's pretty basic.
Yeah, so 15 Corn Mill Way, which is in Maplegate, Maplewood? off-
Maplewood,
Yeah, Maplewood, residential development, it was, development by, Stonebridge Builders and Developers, it's a lot within the development, it's not even in a jurisdictional area, but it was included in the order of conditions, so they're requesting, it's an existing home, they're just requesting a partial certificate of compliance, so, they can take care of whatever it is they need to take care of. So I drove by the site last, Friday or Thursday, and, confirmed that it's, it's built, it's stable, and I recommend the commission issue partial COC, certificate of compliance, for 15 Corn Mill Way. And the DEP file number is 2730314, and the order was issued June 12th, 2007. Carrie's got the actual document to sign.
Motion to issue the partial COC for 15 Cornmill Way.
So moved.
In
Second.
favor?
Virginia, did you second that?
Mhm.
I did, I thought
Thank
two
you.
of us seconded, but yeah.
All right, Dyer Street.
Trade.
Dyer Street would like a partial certificate of compliance for their project. And they're requesting that we issue one. Floor's yours.
Take the mic. You can take it out of the thing, but yeah, turn it on. There's a table. Oh, okay.
Do we have a second page? Second deal? Oh, Ron's still signing? Thank you. All right, floor's yours. 10 minutes. 10 minutes. Goes down to the secretary, please.
Okay.
Thank you.
Good evening, Commission. My name is Eric Shoemaker. We did the survey and produced the as-built. We also provided a certification letter for this partial certificate of compliance. I believe there's 2 DEP file numbers involved. There's one which encompasses the proposed southern duplex as well as a portion of the stormwater management system on the southern lot. The other DEP file number included the multifamily construction, the portion of the roadway in the buffer zone, as well as the stormwater and utilities on the northern lot. So construction as of today, you'll see on the as-built plan, interim as-built plan provided to you. That is the northern multifamily building, portion of the roadway within the 100-foot buffer zone. The complete stormwater management system has been constructed, and the utilities. So there's some exceptions noted on your certification letter of items that are not included, that were, I think, requirements of the order of conditions. And with that, I'll
Which is why we're
That's
asking for the partial.
And you are?
Mike Ingersoll, the developer on the project.
Okay.
Yeah, which is why we're asking for the partial release of the conditions and perform the rest at a later date.
Okay, Marty?
Well, I have to say that they provided a lot of information with their request for partial COC. Eric provided a nice list of what was done, what still needed to be done, which is more than we usually get when we get requests for certificates of compliance. We also got the interim as-built of the site. I did get out to the site. They've done a lot of work in the last couple months on the site to get it to the point it is. The site doesn't have any loam and seed on it yet, but the stormwater management system has been installed and constructed on the site. There's still a lot of work to do, obviously, for the project. They are requesting a partial, which is okay, but I do have a couple things. One thing that was noted back in 2022 was that there was work in the 25-foot no disturb behind the existing,
Yes, I remember. It's
right.
it's this area here,
right.
yes.
And back then, the commission and I recommended and advised them to, get it restored. And,
I'll provide some backup into that, Martha. I remember our conversation too at the site for that. That was late in the year. We were still in the build-out.
Let's let her finish.
yeah,
Oh, forgive me.
yeah,
Please.
I
so,
was gonna jump. into
so,
that.
yeah, so that was 2022 in the fall, and, I followed up in the spring of 2023, reminding them that they still needed to do that. Now, based on my inspection the other day, there is more work in the 25-foot no disturb that they've done, that will need to be restored, and their as-built actually, shows that, that needs to be done. It's the, they proposed work up against the 25-foot no disturb, and it was really not constructible. They, so, all developers say they can construct something that close. So anyways, so the other item that Pat Brennan actually brought up in his inspection report, and I looked at it and confirmed in the field, is that the some of the catch basins are raised so that the stormwater is not entering the system. And according to their letter, it's something that's being worked on. And I think maybe the commission can hear where that stands now.
Sure.
Good.
And that's pretty much it. I mean, again, there's no loam and seed on the site. Another point is, the erosion control are not in great shape. I was hoping they'd be in better shape than they were. So, at this point, if the grades are still high, the erosion controls are not in great shape, and the 25-foot no disturb, remains, not restored with no plan in place to do it, at this point, I would recommend to the commission to not issue the partial until those three things are done. But then once those are done, I would recommend a partial.
Okay. Board have any questions?
Nope, it looks like we need some more work.
So, Ron,
It's not set.
can you? Blame Lorraine.
Nope, I don't have any questions.
Deb still come here?
Yes.
I got a couple questions. The catch basins,
Yes.
they need to be lowered.
We
The-
did.
Huh?
We did that over the weekend.
Over the
It's been
weekend.
done. There was one catch basin that it was over. We dropped that down to catch the water as well.
Okay, because I'm seeing a lot of complaints from neighbors about the flooding down the road, et cetera. So all the catch basins have been lowered to the base grade of the asphalt.
Correct. And I'm assuming that the complaint you had was for the neighbor that was over number 5. We actually did a temporary swale that takes any water that's going there from going to his house as well. So we did that as well.
Where's that water going?
So it's just on the back. It's staying in the back lot and it's not going into his yard. Over here, is where you have the first contact system. So, and there's obviously a great difference between our contact and his lot. So what we did was underneath it, we built a small swale that stays within the lot. So any water that goes in here does not go over to his house. I've actually stopped by his house the last 2 storms. I talked to him about it. He's also happy with it. I assume that's where your call from a neighbor would have come from, because there's no way anyone else is getting any water from the project besides this.
They tell me it's coming down the road, but I don't live over there, so.
We have 2 catch basins here, which we don't have the curb yet, because we don't have the top coat. But the water goes from here, anything on the road goes into those 2 and then brings it back to the site. This one here, which is close to the 7-plex, this catch basin was higher than the bind coat. We dropped it. We dropped it down.
Does the planning board have to issue some sort of,
Partial
something on this?
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, hey.
Hey, how you
How you
doing?
doing?
Thanks, Mike.
We were out there, John Lucas and I, and Pat followed up the next couple days later. You could still see that, when I was out there in the March, you could still see the subsurface filtration system. You have no loom, anything covering it. I understand there's the weather, we've had a lot of rain. The place was a disaster.
I would agree with that.
The neighbor at 5 Dyer Street, you get a trailer there with no wheels, throw it away. It's a piece of junk, get it off the site, clean up the property. You wanna sell these things, it's a disgrace. Water's running down there, you had a swale and everything, inadequate. People down on South Douglas have been complaining about water,
That's coming from the site?
coming from the site. I understand, we get drainages ran in us at once. But when your drainage system is above your binder coat.
It was.
You don't have to coat on there, your final pavement.
Right.
Because if you overlay your as-bills that you submitted with Pat Brennan, they don't even meet the, what
It
you
was,
submitted.
when you guys went there, yeah, it was over, but we
But
dropped
your
it
as-bills
since.
don't even make the prints that we approved.
We've dropped it since I got the report from Pat
Your
about it.
radius around the circle isn't even big enough as what was proposed.
It meets the 25 feet wide for the fire truck as well.
Oh.
We just didn't do the radius
Oh.
according to the plan, because we
Same.
gotta build that 4-plex,
So,
because you make it really hard to do.
so the reason I ask about the planning board is because they're really in charge of the site design, and the drainage, et cetera. I mean, we review it, of course, but, for the conservation piece, I mean, it's gonna be up to the board whether we're willing to issue a partial on this or not. We don't have to. It's not something that, it's not something that we have to do. I'm glad to hear the catch basins have been lowered.
Just on, did you have another question? I'm sorry, I know you mentioned about the 25-foot wetland, I wanted to address that as well,
Yeah, I mean, that needs to get done,
of course.
a little early for that, but it could have been done a year ago, though, too.
And I'll explain why we didn't do it, if you.
Go right
I
ahead.
know we had 10 minutes, I don't know.
You're almost up, so talk fast.
So we ran into a big issue with National Grid. Our project, we were supposed to be here back last March and go through the partial release process. This process last March 2023. National Grid delayed the delivery on the transformer up until November. Of course, during that whole period of time, we had the bank carrying costs. We've been paying $35, almost $40,000 in interest every single month with the job site literally stopped. Our resources have been focused on keeping up with the payment, making sure we don't lose the project, literally. We didn't want to spend money on something we weren't sure was gonna do. Then winter crept up, we still didn't have the transformer. Winter came about, we couldn't do the hydro seeding on anywhere. So now we're at the point, we've got the power back in November, December timeframe. Winter's here, we couldn't lumen hydro seed anything. Obviously now with the weather breaking, we'll be able to go back and lumen hydro seed any area that needed to be done. Over here, I mean, we still gotta build a 4-plex, a duplex, and a duplex. If you want, I'll loom the whole site and hydro seed everything. I don't see the need for that if I'm gonna do so much excavation still. But obviously back here behind us, behind this 3-plex is obviously an area that we're gonna do immediately.
Mr. Chair, if I can add to that, you know, he's talking about the transformer behind the building.
Mm-hmm.
But it's all along the full length of the actual project is sections that you know, worked in the 25-foot no disturb. Cleared, graded, you know, and disturbed, basically. And those are the areas, the 25-foot no disturb areas that need to be more than hydro-seeded, they need to be planted.
Planted, of course.
And we had talked about,
Wetland
you providing
vegetations.
a list of suggested plantings, was over a year ago.
Yes, I actually spoke with the company for that.
Okay,
I
so,
can email you there.
yeah, so I mean, those are the, yeah, that's the kind of information that, needed to be provided, and it just never happened. So, you know, so at this point, it's springtime, it's a good time to plant, you know, going to May. So, but I, you know, at this point, I would.
So is your funding back, I'm assuming?
Well, the thing is, before I can continue anywhere in the project, I need to sell these 7 units, which are all under contract and under agreement to be closed. Once I close these, then my bleeding stops from interest rates, and then I have the funding back in order to be able to finish the project. We have 8 more units to build. We want to build them, we want to get it out. If I lose this to the bank, I won't be able to build anything else. So, and we are at that
Well,
point.
if you lose that to the bank and we issue a partial COC, what happens to those 7 homeowners?
If you issue a partial COC and I'm able to get planning board and the certificate of occupancy for these 7 units, they're sold, we can deliver them.
I mean, we don't issue a certificate of,
No, I know, it's.
that's the building
But he
inspector.
needs your partial release in order for him to issue his certificate. Once we close these, we're back in front. That's what I'm saying. Once we
And,
sell these-
and have you received a release from the planning board?
No, this is the first we're gonna get through this. I got Pat Brennan's report sometime last week. I've spoken with him yesterday and with Tom Robo as well. They are actually working, I'm assuming, with you as well on this.
We haven't heard from him.
Yeah.
Last time I talked to Pat, you were telling him you weren't building the other units. So what is your intention? Are you building the other units, or are you building the other units?
No, we're gonna build the other units. That's the plan. We need to sell these 7 units in order to be able to fund the next phase. It's a phase project by the bank. We can't build the other stuff until we close on these 7 sales, which they're all under agreement. Until we close on this, we can't get funding to do the next 4 units, which is my plan to do it immediately once we close on these. I don't wanna stay with this project another 2 years. I wanna be sure I'm kind of done in 2024, early 2025.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, you may.
How can we issue a COC or a partial COC if the project is not in compliance?
That's what the partials for. They're not getting a full, so.
Well, I know, but still, there's issues that were supposed to be taken care of that weren't taken care of.
I think it would be best for you to restore the 25-foot no disturb, because you should have never worked in it in the first place. And fix the erosion controls. And I think it would be best for you to go see the planning board. And we'll see you in May.
May.
May. We have a meeting a month. So our next meeting's in May. And the reason I say that is the Conservation Commission's not gonna be on the hook for giving you a partial, and then we're gonna get blamed for this. It's just not gonna happen. The people who actually approve the design of the project is the planning board. They can make that fall their lead.
It was nearly impossible to build this guy here without advancing some into the 25, but I understand it needs to be remediated. and plan on it.
Go ahead,
When-
Charlene, I already know what you're gonna say.
When did you build those buildings?
End of 2022.
Here's the deal. It's something called a PERT network when you're doing construction. You have to know what you're supposed to do at certain times, and you do it. When you built and you disturbed, you should have repaired the disturbance right then and there. So
Yes, I
you
agree.
actually made
I
your
agree
own
with you.
problem, so.
I agree with you, but it was in the winter, so we couldn't address it in the winter. You know, you
Get
can
the
plant
little
or hydro seed.
piles of dirt
Yeah.
And get it back to where it wants to be, but all right, you can't do the planting, but it's now 2 years later.
And I understand, you're right, it's a year later, we were gonna do it in the spring 2023, but due to the whole issue I had where I had to literally not do anything in the project for almost a full year.
I would say the board would be perfectly fine with issuing a partial if you got the 25-foot no disturb zone somewhat restored and we heard from the planning board. I think we would follow their lead without question. But they're the ones who approved the design of this project, not us. We're just the wetlands tree hugger people. So I think that we need to follow their lead instead of them following ours in this particular instance.
I just have a question for clarification for the applicant. Is there a specific permit you would like from the planning board, or is it just to address the most recent review letter at a formal meeting?
Well, does the planning board need to issue a partial on this, or is it not the same process that we're following here?
Our understanding was the project was gonna be built totally out beforehand.
Well, that was our,
It in
well,
phases.
that was our understanding
I'm
also.
speaking for myself, Mike Corbett, 27 George Street. You know, I'm not speaking for anybody on the planning board, speaking as a member, but just for myself.
Yeah.
You know?
I don't know
What
whether,
explained was you were gonna do it in phases, and if you're in construction, you know there's delays. Everything should have been ordered well in advance, so you didn't have this problem.
oh, I
Everything
believe you,
understood.
Mike, believe me.
So does the
I
planning
did.
board have to issue a partial for them to allow them to sell these units? That's the
Yeah,
question.
It goes back to the building inspector,
You know,
but they haven't come before us
well,
since then.
about,
We went out to the site on our own.
Well,
well, about 3 months
They're not
ago, I
scheduled
reached out.
so far to be on any of our meetings, they haven't reached out to us.
what we're not looking to do is push this into June, I'm assuming. So,
Because the last I heard, they weren't building any further, that's why there's so many
Who
as-bills.
would have said that? That I'm not
this is
building-
not the time or place for
Oh, sorry,
that.
Forgive me, I'm sorry, yeah.
You guys can have that discussion
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
hallway. Like I said, I mean, I can't speak for the board, but I think if you restored the 25-foot no disturb, which is not that big of a deal for you, got that done, fixed the erosion controls, I think you'd be a candidate for a partial from us in first meeting in May, which is when. And if you can get that work done and get it to our consultant in a timely fashion, not 2 days before the meeting, not that you did that, but a lot of people do that to us, then I think that the board would be
May 14th.
May 14th.
You have a question from somebody in the audience?
Mary?
Mary.
Questions from the audience? Mayor Carson, 754 Union Street.
I was gonna take questions. But this isn't a hearing, so.
Besides the fact that it's a disaster and I drive by it almost every single day, and then the fact that, is Dyer Street a public road or is it a private road?
I think it's gonna be accepted by the town, right?
Is it already accepted?
It's already been
Yeah.
accepted before as a public road in
Mhm.
town. And they're supposed to bring it up to code.
Yes.
Because it used to be very, aesthetically pretty. Now it's a disaster and it's devalued other people's property.
Point of order, I'm not sure of the relevancy of disaster, and I'm not sure if you can actually drive by a dead end.
I drive by it.
Hold on, and you are? Name and address, please?
I'm not a Rockland resident, I'm a hopeful Rockland resident.
Still need a name and address.
My name is Justin.
Justin-
I reside at Whipple Street in Wyndham.
Okay.
It's a disaster. And I do drive by it every day. I live on Union Street, not far from it.
Okay.
And I've seen pictures where you just clear cut all the trees. It's nothing but mud. And yes, we have this rain almost every single year like this. That's an area that floods out.
I mean, the rain is excessive
Right,
this
and then
year.
you've got this stormwater thing that is supposed to dissipate rainwater slowly, but it's totally uncovered. Is it supposed to be totally uncovered?
I don't think that affects the actual dissipation of it.
No,
And
but it's
not-
supposed to collect the rainwater and dissipate it slowly, but is the fact that, isn't it supposed to be a little underground? Or is it just?
I don't think that affects its functionality, though. I don't think it has anything to do with the function of the, what is it, a Caltech deal?
Yeah.
I don't think it has anything to
Yeah,
do
It's not
with
it's
that.
uncovered.
laying out there.
It's covered,
It
it's
is
just not
covered.
loamed and seeded.
So it's supposed to have lumen seed on it,
Eventually, yeah. The whole site's supposed to have lumen seed.
It will.
and it's supposed to have any kind of trees, bushes.
Whatever the planning board approved for site design is what it's supposed to have.
So none of it's been done.
But that doesn't have anything to do with the Conservation Commission. That's the reason I'm requesting that they get something from the planning board.
Okay.
Because we don't go over site design. That's the planning board deal, not us.
But the fact that they're working in the 25-foot no disturb.
That's a problem. Yes.
Did they ever get a waiver to do that?
They did not. And that's the reason they need to restore it to get a partial from us. I think that's our
So they're
sticking
gonna
point.
keep working in the no disturb.
There's no work.
Well,
going on.
they'll never get a COC from us unless they repair it, so, no, not forever, but.
Okay.
You had a question?
No, I was gonna make just a statement.
Name,
For
address?
The whole system to work for the cul-de-sacs and.
Name,
the
address,
to work,
please.
Mike Christopherson, 86 Whipple Street.
Thank you,
It's my
Mike
son.
who?
Christopherson.
thank you.
Anyway, what I was gonna say was, for the system to work correctly anyway, the final pavement does have to be in, so it's impervious, so that water travels to the cul-de-sac system and drains correctly. That's why it's not working correctly. Even if you lower the catch basins, okay, that's gonna help, but you still have impervious pavement that's the binder, that it's gonna sink in down through, and it's gonna go where it feels like going, instead of being directed as it was designed.
Okay,
That's all I wanted to say.
thank you. Okay. This is not a hearing, so there's no, there's no continuance of anything. I would suggest getting the 25-foot no disturb restored and the erosion controls fixed, and I don't think this board really has anything else. I mean, I would agree, I'm not gonna, keep on saying, I mean, the place is a mess. I mean, it is. I mean, I live on Union Street just like Mary, and, it's a shame, but I think all the town boards are gonna force you to make it not a mess.
Believe me, sir, I wanna get this done as much as you guys do. I mean, we're bleeding out there for a full year. Obviously, we didn't wanna get into this position. We wanted to get it done back in 2023. That was our plan. We wanted to be done with the full site by now.
So, my suggestion is you hop on those two items, get something in front of the planning board, and then come back and see us at our next meeting, and if you can get the information to Marty early, we could probably have the partial in hand for that night, and you could walk out with it. Fair enough?
So,
I know it's not what you wanted to hear, but it's better than no.
The reason why I didn't wanna hear it because
I know,
45 days means $45,000.
I know.
That's why.
I am-
I understand your concern.
It's not quite 45 days, though.
Almost.
35 days.
I'm over 1,000.
Eric?
my question again would be, what formally would be required from the planning board? The purpose of our approval is really to prove that these site is in substantial compliance with the plans prepared and the order of conditions. How would the planning board be
Okay, so
involved?
maybe I'm going down the wrong road. The building inspector. He has to issue a partial for this, right? It's not done, right?
Correct.
Something from Tom then. Either or. That's all. Something for us to take the lead on that the project's gonna get completed properly.
Understood.
We've been down this road a couple times in this town, and we're not gonna be willing to go down it again. So, and I think all the boards agree on that, so, okay?
Yes.
Great. So, May 14th, get the information to us as early as you can, and we could potentially have the partial in hand.
There's no substantial plan changes, just to save the cost of a survey crew with some site photographs,
Oh, good question.
maybe some sort of letter from us.
We could have Marty do an inspection.
Yeah,
How's that?
certainly.
Fair enough?
Fair enough.
Good. See you on the 14th. Thank you.
Thanks for your time.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
No, we just came to see you guys.
All right. Spruce Street,
This question in the audience.
Before you get to the next topic, I have one question and one addition. The question is, what is the definition of partial, when you say partial COC?
not a full COC.
Well, how many requirements must be fulfilled?
As many as we decide.
Okay, so it's subjective.
Unless it's 100%, it's a partial. So unless it's 100%, which would be a full, anything under that's gonna be a partial. And it's up to this board in our complete discretion, whether it's 99.9 or it's 1%.
Understood. And one addition from the discussion earlier, the minutes are not online since before 2021 for this commission.
That's
The agendas are,
that's the town clerk
the minutes are not.
deal.
I'm just saying that out loud, so,
Okay.
because it was being discussed.
Thank you.
We good? All right. Yep.
One other question. I just want to confirm that their full COC or partial COC is not contingent upon a certificate of occupancy for the building.
The building inspector's holding that, yes.
Exactly.
The
That-
building
I just wanna
inspector
make
is
sure-
holding that
I want
line.
to make sure that was clear, that's all.
The building inspector's holding that line,
Understood.
but our partial is no, it is not contingent upon that. That's up to him, that's not up to us.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you. All right. Moving on. Spruce Street, Mary, I know you're here for that, but
Yep.
there's nothing here for it, because they're not here and they haven't filed with us.
Well, that was a question I was gonna ask, but actually, eventually, at some point, when I get a little more time, when I started, I have more information to send you that you probably don't know about, especially that area, and I didn't realize that I had been watching that area for almost 20 years. And you can't even go by the dates, I do the lazy photograph, the one that has a date on the front, so I don't have to tell everybody the date. But I even went and saw it, and goes, oh my God, I took a picture of that and that and that. I did not go out in the last storm, I'm sorry, I've been out since January, and
Why weren't you there?
French's Street, it's two sections, it's the east branch and the west branch, and it's the Navy that moved it. It was one whole stream in the middle, but to get storm water off of the runways, they do it as quick as possible, and it floods before it leaves that base. There are no storm drains on Spruce Street at all that feed into it. It floods the town forest, which is right across the street, and it floods it all the way to North Ave.
It definitely floods it.
Yeah, and then it floods the backyard of the fellow in the White House who says he doesn't get it in his cellar, but his yard gets flooded out. And it does it all the way down the line till it floods out the Rockland Golf Course. It will even flood out West Water Street in a certain section from time to time, because I actually lived there where it flooded out. So that was basically how I got interested in French's Stream. And I actually, when we were young, the fire department knocked on our door to evacuate us, and we just told them we had a canoe. And we could, canoe our way out.
Well, that could work too.
Yeah, I still have the canoe.
So,
I don't think I can lift it up, but I still have the canoe.
so,
Um,
like I said, I wanna limit the discussion because they're not here.
I'm not discussing them, I'm discussing French's Stream and what it is and isn't, and what I have. That's pictures that are gonna go to DEP anyway,
Okay.
and these pictures are gonna go there. And it comes together in the town forest and becomes one French's Stream all down the line. So both feed into one. It used to be Navy property there too. It floods out all the way down the line.
So-
It floods out before it even leaves,
so the-
and they're attaching more stuff to it.
So the branch in question is not the main. The main's up the street a little bit, right?
The west branch, the east branch is just part of the main.
It's like 100
You
yards
can't
up the road,
separate it
right?
out. It's a perennial stream, yeah.
Yep.
And it's listed as one. It's also an impaired stream, both of them.
Well, with all this rain, it's definitely an issue, but again, we're still waiting on a filing
Okay,
that we have not received yet. They have to the 15th,
yeah, that's next week.
so I've already sent a couple reminders. And I think our letter was pretty clear
Oh, yeah.
on what we have to do if the 15th comes and goes. So Dave's aware of it, and just have to go from there. I mean, I can't go down there and force him to do anything, so, as you know. We're just doing what we're supposed to do. And we will make them follow up, but we have to wait for the 15th, that's the date we gave them. So. Fair enough on that?
Yep.
So, with that being said, I had Marty prepare some guidelines. Pass those down. That's all one. I just didn't have a chance to staple them. So I had Marty put together some guidelines for the Rockland Highway Department and the Sewer Department when they're doing this type of work.
Oh, very good.
What they need to file for, what they don't,
Thank you very much.
Potentially.
Oh, very good.
you know, stuff like that. You may have a copy if you'd like.
Yeah.
So, we went through this a bunch of times. Of course, you know, the first time Marty returned, it was like 30 pages, so. And as we know, if we handed a document to really anybody that was 30 pages long, they're not gonna read it. So, we agreed to pare this down as much as we could, but,
Well, this is pretty good, 2 pages.
yeah, it was,
From 30, that's
it
pretty
was,
good.
it took a bunch of times.
Wasn't 30.
All right, 29.
It's okay.
But anyway, so,
Got the idea.
and the highway superintendent and Chuck, the sewer commissioner, has agreed to use these guidelines. I haven't sent them to him yet, because I wanted the board to see them. But they're pretty general, but I think they get the point across. So you guys can, that's your homework from now until May 14th. Town Forest Committee, I think we just have to vote to disband. Nobody knows about this, apparently.
Yeah, no, I saw it.
It's already been disbanded,
Yeah.
but I guess we're in charge of it, so motion to disband the Town Forest Committee. And just make sure that ends up in our minutes, because the town administrator wants it recorded, et cetera.
So who's gonna handle that?
Nobody.
Nobody? Then we're just gonna let it go?
We're responsible
To
for
rack
the
and ruin.
stewardship of our conservation.
Yeah.
land.
Right, but the Town Forest Committee is no more.
This is true.
George,
George
Closed
retired.
it.
and
He's retired,
he closed it.
so we'll have to see if we can get a new committee.
But the existing one needs to be
Disbanded.
correct.
All right.
Okay, now we all understand.
Yes.
Hey, I didn't even understand it at first, so I don't know, you know, just make a motion. If you don't want to, it's fine with me.
So moved.
I'm just trying to do work
Okay,
here.
second.
All in favor? No more Town Forest Committee for now. And that's it. That's all I got.
Well, I have something for you.
You, what?
It was 5 pages.
No, it was like 15.
5.
All right, well, whatever.
That's close to
I
30.
just thought people would like to be able to step into the past and into our future.
What does that mean?
At the same time?
Yeah.
Wish I had that ability.
A sale was made on the deed was recorded on March 15th of 2024 for $1 million for 1119 and 1059 rear Union Street.
All about it.
And that raises its ugly head again.
Well, that's because it wasn't handled correctly.
I know, but it's, just like I say, it's, we're going back to the future here.
The rich got richer on that one.
Actually, the woman that bought it in the first place, when they were supposed to do that deal, paid $2 million for it, and they only got $1 million this time. So,
Well, you know,
I'm not sorry for it, it's
It was-
just, I
it
mean, it
was-
was a business thing that
it
was
was
all crazy.
supposed to be set aside and never developed, and now
Yeah,
somebody's
that's,
paying $1
that's
million.
why I'm saying we should be aware
somebody's
of-
paying $1 million. Guess what?
Yeah, it's,
It's getting developed.
and it's coming, and it comes right up to sure,
Right up to.
YMCA land.
Yeah.
I was gonna start
Yeah,
singing.
it's a big
the,
piece.
Yes, because it comes right up there.
It goes down to, the Swamp River there,
Oh, yeah.
or just about. So, anyway, motion to,
Okay. No, I have something.
shit,
Uh-huh.
And I do too.
I almost got out of it. Damn it.
This is real quick. It's just on our rules and regulations for Rockland conservation areas. I, gave a copy of the letter to the town clerk so that they'll have it up there, and if anybody asks about it, she'll be able to give it to them, but it was suggested that maybe it would be a good idea for us to post the letter and the application on our website.
Okay.
Oh, I don't know how to post it.
Do I have it electronically?
I do.
Can you send it to me or her electronically so I can have them post it?
The town clerk has it, they're the ones that post the agenda, I don't post the agenda, they do it.
Oh, so,
Right, but she
So
needs,
why is she recommending, oh, she needs it electronically?
yeah.
Yeah, send it to me and I can get it to the clerk.
okay. Oh, they just suggested that it might be a good idea, and it might be easy for people if they wanted to get the application to use, a copy farm or wherever they wanna use, online and fill it out and
Yeah,
bring it in.
yeah, it'd be good to have it under the Conservation Commission tab for sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Virginia, what do you got?
Actually, I'm upset with you, Doug. I just wanted to let you know.
Great.
Because I brought up Dyer Street
Join the crowd.
months and months ago because I had complaints. Marty wasn't here. And you said that everything was just fine. And I told the people that were talking to me that everything was just fine.
Just find about what?
That things were going as they were supposed to, which obviously they haven't been. And they weren't at that time. It was months ago that I brought it up because I was getting a lot of complaints.
I don't understand what you're talking about. Oh, Dyer Street. Oh, I thought you were
Dyer
talking about, I thought you were talking about Josh Gray.
No, Dyer Street.
What did you want me to do about it?
I just wanted to know where it stood, what was happening. Were things going well?
Well, nothing
And
was
the-
going on. It was stuff for a year.
Yeah,
They just started back up about a month and a half ago.
but you told me everything was fine, so I passed that on. So that's all. I just wanted to let you know that
Slap his hand.
a lot of people are probably unhappy with me because I
don't
said
think they're
everything,
I don't think
everything
they're
was
unhappy with you.
okay. Well, I'm unhappy with you. So, anyway,
I can't
That's all-
possibly
that's
monitor
all.
everything.
what's that?
I can't possibly monitor everything that happens. But if I misled you that it was fine, I apologize.
Thank you.
Does that work for you?
It does.
I actually said it was, actually, the project was fine, because I've been bitching about it for a year and a half.
I bet you.
Are you sure you didn't hear me the right way?
I had lots of, there were lots of, no, because I left feeling okay.
Marty, how long have I been complaining
everything
about the
isn't
mess
fine.
up there?
For a while.
And you weren't here, so actually I wanted to talk to
Hmm.
you about how things were, but you weren't here. So I asked Doug, and Doug
Maybe I
said-
thought it was a different
and Doug-
project.
And Doug said everything is okay.
Well, everything's
So
not okay.
I passed everything is okay, I said.
and we all weren't here, we were over there.
Yeah, we were over there.
Do we?
Oh, we didn't.
Oh, yeah, we didn't.
Yeah. Motion to pay the bills?
He's the one who owned the property.
All in favor? Bills?
Oh, Bills.
Yep, he's the one who owned the property.
Oh, he still owns the property?
No, he sold it.
That's
He
what
sold
I
it to
thought,
the,
that
the,
guy.
the Jasper guy,
Yeah,
Casper or Jasper, whatever his name is.
who wanted a waiver from the water department. I was at that meeting.
I mean, the place is, when you drive by it, it's a disaster. Everybody who,
So who are
Said
the
that.
purple people that learned it from?
I don't know who they are.
I am guessing from what the younger fellow said that he was a prospective Rockland
Yeah.
resident, that he
He
has.
did say
uh,
that.
He's a
Yeah.
Weymouth resident from
Yeah.
Purple Road, please,
But-
that's how they behave.
But I believe that my thought was that since he said that 7 units, they're all under
This is smaller than it's
agreement, that
supposed
he
to be.
may be one of the,
Five of them.
Oh,
I don't know what their story was. I
the other
don't
guy
know.
sounded like he was an engineer or a salesman for that whole back, that
They
drainage
both,
thing.
they both didn't sound happy that we weren't issuing a partial, I can tell you
Yeah.
that, but,
That's because over in Weymouth, everything is given to them.
I
how
mean,
can we issue a partial when they're not in compliance?
they're not
That's right.
used to
That's
this.
true.
Absolutely.
That's true.
I mean, I don't fully understand, even if they were prospective buyers, why they would get upset. They would think they want the project done, right? If they're gonna live there.
I
That's
sure
what
as
I
hell
would
would.
think,
I'm not
unless,
putting my money
unless
down.
they're
In fact,
investors.
they're in violation, if anything, they worked in the 25-foot
That would
line.
make, that would
Yep.
make more
That's true.
sense.
It's true.
But,
So it's like the full COC is when they address everything in the order of conditions, right?
yeah, when the site matches what we approved.
So the site plan they showed us today isn't the same plan that the planning board approved?
Yeah, it's the same plan.
Well, that was an as-built of what's out there today. Gotcha. Yeah. Which is different than what the plan should have been for? No, it's a lot the same.
That's the reason we need to take the lead from
Yeah, the planning board.
the person who's gonna actually
Do we
issue
have 2 pages for
the
this?
occupancy.
We did the, I know, but we did the last
I
time.
don't- I didn't
All right,
remember.
We're,
put that right here.
we are
Maybe
just the
that's the
Conservation
rest on.
Commission.
And they need to continue, I mean, to extend their orders, both of them, they're up in June. They know, I told them.
Oh, I'm surprised they didn't ask for that tonight.
Well, they told them.
what they have in their account.
They.
Hopefully they got
have money
something.
For this last round of stuff, so, not a lot, but.
Thank you.
Did you do a scope and fee for corn mill? No, I did not. I saw the bill, so. Yeah, no, I did not.
They don't need one.
We're just paying?
Just, no, we're not just paying it. Just get me the total and,
125 plus the fee, right? I can send Christine the invoice.
yeah, and they don't get the,
Virginia?
they don't get the
Oh,
thing
yeah,
until,
okay, I'll send it to her.
Okay.
I'll say,
they don't get the thing until they get the thing. In other words, they don't get the thing until we get our money. Is that it?
Check.
Yes, I had to bypass you because that other one was for your wife.
Great.
Adjournment. We had bills to pay.
Yeah, I was just trying to get out of here. so.
Yeah.
I get the feeling the next
Go
meeting might be a
snap,
long
right?
one, so saving my energy. And they
We'll have
build
to
up.
start taking walks so that we can.
Yeah, until tomorrow night.
Yeah.
Try cleaning up yards when they're soaking wet.
Oh, yes.
I'm looking at
My husband was just,
Actually, try doing anything when it's soaking wet is the
was
question.
just sweeping our
Okay, that.
driveway.
Ridiculous. You got water running down your street.
Yeah.
Where's that coming from?
Well, one's coming from my house and from the other end is coming from the
What is it, pumps?
duplex, yeah.
Marty, do you have
The
a
guy in the
card?
middle's on the
'Cause I don't have your email address. I was going to
Do we get
tell
any
you
more
the good
bills?
news on March 16th.
Oh.
Oh, goody, goody.
You got any more for me?
I don't
there?
have a card, but.
Yeah, they're being done.
I won't hand them all in one packet, so. You know, okay. Jeez, you're feisty tonight.
Well,
Jeez.
I'm angry with you. So
Still?
I should be fine. Well,
I apologize, what else you want me to do?
it was quiet.
Jeez. From now on, everything's bad. Never gonna say
There.
anything's ever good
There's your
again.
packet.
Thank you.
Well, just because sometimes when they're working on things doesn't mean.
I know what Whipple Road is, I did a big retaining wall down there for a fireman.
Oh, thank you very much.
Yeah, when they first started that stupid street wasn't even.
Actually, no, it's Whipple Extension,
Around.
Whipple Circle.
MJ.
Whipple Road, and then it turns
At
into
Gmail.
Whipple
Gotcha.
Circle.
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
And
it's-
actually, I was
it's
gonna
right,
call somebody and then I just
right
get
by-
busy.
what is it,
and I
Stetson-
didn't
is
call
that
anybody.
Stetson building?
And I have a note in my living room saying, tell Marty. It's been so
Whipple's-
long that I've been
The
trying to
Whipple they're
get it,
talking
and then
about is,
it's there.
you know
The
Dunkin'
sound
Donuts
is
by the
there. We
hospital
got
on Route 18, you keep going, you make a left, right, about a quarter mile up on the left. It's Whipple Road, and then it goes to Whipple Extension, and then Whipple Circle. I guarantee that's where they're from.
On Newburgh, that,
I guarantee that's where they're from. You can tell.
well, it's the only town that has two Circuit Street and Circuit Road. It's insane.
They're not North
Neither
Weymouth
of them
people.
are near each other.
I can tell you they're not North Weymouth people.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Lorraine did it, and I seconded it.
I know
Everybody
North
else
Weymouth
says
people.
raise both hands, yes.
Isn't
Oh, yeah,
Henry a North
okay.
Weymouth
Done.
guy?
Yeah, he is.
See?
Now I gotta get out.
Yeah. North Weymouth, like.
These things don't
North
move very well.
I know North
I
Weymouth.
don't know the street.
You don't know the street?